And that we've talked about that before, just sitting around about in those like the movie Taken. Like,
yeah, you hate Liam Neeson.
No, I don't hate. I thought it was a pretty good movie for an action. But the good guy, how they always escaped death.
Oh, always.
I mean, he probably avoided 500,000 bullets.
Oh, that nobody ever could hit him. I don't think he ever got shot once.
I mean, he could do a cartwheel and a backflip and in midair shoot somebody dead.
Yeah, that.
They should make a movie where like that guy dies.
Yeah.
You know, like the complete opposite. Like,
well, they did that. It's called Game of Thrones, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, you're right. Like a modern day.
You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast, the home of sports, gambling, entertainment, and whatever the hell else has gone on this week. So pull up a seat by the fire, crack open a cold one, and make sure to get your bets in. Welcome to the Pine Room. This episode is sponsored by our good friends at IC Cab. Whether you're in the Ohio Valley, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Columbus, Morgantown, or Charleston, you've seen the cars around. IC Cab provides a simple transportation service for all your transportation needs, be it a ride to the Pittsburgh airport, because we all know it's cheaper than parking, corporate transportation, courier services, or just a ride home from the local bar. IC Cab is your way to roll. To book your next ride, call 304-232-1313 or schedule a future ride at iccab.com/contact. Then all you got to do is fill out some info and boom, you got a ride coming your way. Oh, all right, that's me. Give them a call. Tell them the Pine Room sent you.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Pine Room Podcast, episode 70. No Jub this episode. He's under the weather. It's August 8th, and he has a cold.
Is this his first excused absence?
Could be. He's missed. He's missed a few times where I've been captain's chair.
Okay.
Well, I had to do one. I had to host at the one up at the house one time. You guys had. He was non-existent for that either. Oh, okay. I'm glad not to host because I do enough of that. 3 hours of doing that.
Yeah, you need a break. But
I did not.
Yeah, we had a good day of radio today, 12 to 3. No guests today. We didn't have any guests. Except Chris, I guess you were a guest today.
When I read the text, I'm like, well, shit. Matt had meetings and coaches on paint duty. I said, well, in Jub, I didn't know if he had a sore throat, but I thought, well, I'll just call in and bullshit. But I tell you what, that went quick.
Yeah, it did go very fast.
I was in my car and I looked, and next thing I know, the clock said it was 12:25.
Yeah, it is amazing how fast it goes. I was worried that he wasn't coming. I thought that he wasn't.
What would you have done then?
I don't know. He got here just at 12, so when at 12 o'clock it switches over to news, you have to put the news on. So it was like dead air for probably 20 seconds, and I was like, and he wasn't here yet. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I have no clue. I'm like, went back there. South Park was on the TV, and usually it's supposed to be the news. So South Park was on, and I was like, I tried to call him, and then he ended up.
Because I assume though they would have just let the news run. If you guys wouldn't have been here?
Well, to a certain point, then it would just be...
Well, actually, the news, because you have to do the news manually. You have to put... He puts it on, so I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I would have done. I would have just sat there in dead air and...
Yeah, because then
Lola ended up coming here, so it was good. But no, it's a good show. We're here now. Just me, Matt, Cooley, Chris, a little light crew. We got depth. We always got depth.
We always got depth.
We got a big couple weeks coming up. We've been talking about it.
My big question is, Chris, you got a game tonight, right?
Hibachi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But where the hell's your partner? You could make time, but Coach couldn't.
Yeah. Maybe he gets privileged because he's the oldest guy in the league.
He does.
I know he's not the oldest guy in the league, but he's the oldest guy here with us.
He's
the oldest guy. Doug Hartlieb's 80. He plays.
Yeah.
So.
Man.
Coach 15.
He's catching him.
Well, but that's weird. That's still 15.
I know,
years
isn't
away.
that amazing? He's got to go home. He probably. I don't know if he'll have time for his nap. It's 4:15 right now.
The nap gets to be an important part of the day.
As
you get into advanced age.
Yes, he needs his nap.
He didn't used to be a nap guy, did he?
No,
I never knew him to nap ever.
No. Never. He used to get on to me about sleeping all the time. Now he doesn't.
He used to never ever be a nap guy, and as
is this a daily thing now?
Yes, daily thing. I'd say usually about the same time, probably around. Right about now, 4 o'clock. He gets pissed if I ever call. I know not to call now.
Even if he's even if he doesn't paint in the morning.
Yeah. Usually every day with Evie, he'll sit.
Tired life.
Yeah, but he does.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Here's a question for you guys: if you take a nap and you go to bed, like if you take a nap in your bed, do you get under the covers?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nah.
No, I
unless you're sick.
Yes, right. I would agree. I would agree with that.
I'm not I think that if you take a nap, you go over the covers with like a different blanket. I think if you get under like the comforter, I think it's you're going to
lay on top of your sheets or blanket, then just put like a throw over.
Yeah.
I'll do that, like a small blanket. I won't do like the big blanket over me, but I don't know. I've had some 4-hour naps before.
Well, that's one thing. You do take some heavy naps sometimes.
It's more just like sleeping rather than napping.
Oh yeah. Well, then it messes you up for the rest of the night.
Oh yeah, I'll wake up sweaty and lost.
And then you'll be up till like 4 a.m.
Do you guys ever like even take a nap or not accidentally, but I'll do this sometimes. Fall asleep on the couch like this time of day. Watching TV, and then I wake up and I'm like totally confused where the hell I'm at. What day it is.
When you wake up and it's like
sometimes I look and think, shit, am I late for work? And then you realize it's like,
jeez.
I don't not all the time, but it's been like I'm just like disoriented.
You can sleep with the TV on, can't you? I can't.
I'd have. You mean at night?
I'd have to be sick or have brain-eating amoeba to be able to fall asleep with the TV on.
Really?
Oh yeah, I can't. No chance.
Really?
I'm a very light sleeper. I know I'd be sick or something if I have the TV on while I fall asleep. So I'm not saying occasionally I don't like a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's very rare for me. I can't.
I'll put on the sleep time.
I can't do it.
If like a light noise
Oh no. I wear earplugs because any like short range noise I'll hear.
I'm the complete opposite, man. I could sleep front row of a concert.
Yeah, see, no, not me.
I'm a pretty heavy sleeper too. Like I don't wake up at all during the night. Like I sleep all the way through the night unless I really got to pee for whatever reason. I know, Chris. I think you're a victim of that. The pee that wakes you up in the middle.
And it just like when we were at the beach. If we go to, we're going out and we drink, and then it's. We go to bed at say 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm up peeing, then 4, and I'm like, man, I hope I'm not waking. And you guys don't budge.
Oh no. No, I'm a really heavy sleeper. Once I go to bed, I'm usually out.
When I wake up to pee like that, though, for some reason I try not to open my eyes.
I know.
When I go, so I can try to go back to sleep when I lay back down.
I do that too. Whenever you get up like that, you like limp into the bathroom.
I try not to turn any lights on.
Holding on to the wall, probably piss all over.
You wake up, there's piss all over the floor.
It's your own fault, dumbass. Open your fucking eyes.
Right. Well. It'd probably be worse, if you went out and drank like 20 beers and then, you wake up the next day and just.
Now let me ask you guys this question, and I've heard of people, and I think I probably know a couple people that do this. Have you ever been so fucked up that you got up in the middle of the night and pissed all over like the floor or in somewhere you weren't supposed to? I couldn't even imagine doing that. I'd had to be on some serious Slobovian-style psychedelics to be able to do that.
I myself, I've never. I could never. I've never been that.
No. Have you ever pissed on another human?
No,
not when they wanted you to. Yeah. I'm just for those of you that are into that. I don't know, but we won't judge. But
it's crazy you say
this is honestly amazing that you're saying this.
I will leave names out of this just because I don't want to bust anybody out. But there was a time, I forget what we were doing that night. My buddy got super hammered, and we're all sleeping downstairs. You can ask Say about this. Say is sleeping on the couch. I'm on the bed, and I'm sleeping, and all of a sudden I feel something hitting my foot. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I wake up, and I grab my phone. I turn the flash on. My friend is peeing on my foot. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he wakes up out of his sleep and just sprints out of the room.
That was I remember when you told me that. I was like, I can't believe that this just happened.
Was there booze involved or other?
Yeah, I think he was hammered, and then I looked at Say in the middle of that, and instead of Say like getting up, to help me or something, he just turns back over and puts the pillow over his face because he was so embarrassed. I'm like, dude.
This just happened recently, or is this?
Nah, this a couple years ago.
I think I remember Say mentioning this one time at the Pine Room,
and it happened to me twice in that same week.
That's impossible.
I swear to God,
that's craziest thing in the world. I
swear to God,
it was the second time I was on the cruise, right?
Yep, it was on the cruise, and again, I won't name who it was.
It's the same guy.
Different guy.
No, that's even more.
I know, and
thing.
it's fucking me. I wake up and this dude's pissing. It gets on my foot. It got over my hat.
Then it get in your shoes.
Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and I looked at Say again. Say's crying.
So Say's had a front row seat to two.
Yeah.
And didn't do anything to help urinations and
in the same
week and just rolls over and goes back to sleep.
He covered his face again. I'm like, Say. Oh.
God, that is so funny you mentioned.
But in Say's defense, I don't know what he could have done.
I don't know either. But I don't
think he was going to go and get involved.
He could have, Actually, I don't know what he could have done. I don't know. Really.
He might have started to pee too. Have pee swords going on.
Yeah, that's funny. I've never in my life.
No, I've never done that either. I mean, I years ago I probably pissed in bed, but just like I didn't wake up, I just pissed myself. But I mean, get up.
But I mean, before you drank or after you drank?
Like no, after. Like just blasted.
No, so you have been blasted enough to piss. See, I've never been. I'm sure I peed the bed a bunch as a kid because since I've been born, I've drank a lot, not like booze, but you know what I'm saying, like heavy liquids. So I know my mom would say that when I would piss the bed a lot. So that definitely, but I've never done it when I was drunk. I couldn't live with myself.
I can't say I've ever done that either.
See, Chris, you pissed yourself and you didn't even know until the next day?
No, I was that messed up. No, it wasn't on a regular basis. I didn't.
I know. I'm just.
But
saying
I have not. But your actual question, as far as getting up and pissing on somebody or pissing on the wall, no.
Wouldn't that be horrible? You're laying in bed with a girl and you just piss starts running over on you.
Shit yourself.
Well,
that's a whole other.
That
is, to me, if you shit yourself in your sleep, then you have really, really done something extreme,
wrong.
Like totally to fuck your body up because.
You might have to eat some wings before.
I was going to say the only way.
How do you not know your stomach's like rum? I mean, those are intestinal situations where you can't help but feel that. That would wake a guy up out of a coma if he had shit.
Maybe it was like he was having a dream and he thought he was on the toilet.
Well, all right, I'll give you that one, but that's.
I think the only way maybe is if you you had a million beers and you went to Taco Bell.
Yeah,
you went to town on 15 tacos and.
I mean, I've done all that and I've never shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think.
I don't know. Like I just don't know. I mean, is there a point where a guy's just so fucking lazy he just lays in his own shit?
I could see.
I mean, it's like
I know.
I would
it's
hope
like the movie Seven. Like the guy's got bed sores and he's pissed and shitting himself and his skin's eating away and he doesn't want to walk 6 steps to go to the bathroom where he just stop on the way and piss on Cooley.
Really, I know a few people that probably are lazy enough to do that.
I mean, that's like filthy. That's like you should be in a pig pen with fucking pigs.
Yeah,
rolling in your own shit, or those hippos, where the hippos projectile shitting all over somebody.
Or you should just go to bed with a fucking bedpan and have somebody clean you up.
Yeah, the bedpan.
Or just sleep on the fucking toilet if you got that big of a problem. Strap yourself on.
Yeah, I guess if you've shit the bed. Let us know.
Yeah, right.
Send us an email.
Or just send us a DM.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Tell us what happened.
Worst incident with bedtime relief of yourself or someone else.
That's kind of scary, though, kids. What if you throw up in bed? You can kill yourself that way, right?
Yeah, I'd
choke on your nose.
We know a guy that did that. Well, we don't really know him, but we know of him. Okay. I'm not going to mention his name, but he played for Wheeling College.
Oh, the Hooper, yeah.
It's so fucking destroyed that you choke on your own puke. Like, I don't know.
How do you not wake up and like roll over? I don't.
Just shit face.
I don't know. That's why if you have friends that vomit, we got one. You keep them face down. If you can. Yeah. I don't do that either. I mean, when I vomit, I know I'm vomiting and I'm getting ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
If I start spinning and that, I'm just going and I'm sitting by the toilet and I'm just waiting for it to happen because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to try to go back to sleep. And then you just kind of force it. Like, just get
if I feel it, I'm forcing it.
Fortunately, I don't do that.
Yeah, for me, I mean, as soon as I feel the spins, I go throw up. I feel a million times better.
Yeah, you have to. You can't.
And
you can't fight it off.
Get all the
trying
bads.
to fight it off is not going to work.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've probably thrown up from alcohol. I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. I definitely double digits, I think, in my life.
You got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Jesus,
I didn't realize it was that high. That's good.
Maybe not that. Maybe not that high.
Good.
Well, you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, true. I'm putting my body through it. Maybe not that much, but
Chris,
I've had my fair share.
I remember one time, not that long ago, you went up to one of the Mexican joints.
I was just going to say that.
You got blacked out in the daylight. That's like me at the Chinese restaurant with the fog cutters.
Yeah.
One time I drank 4 of those. You're only supposed to be able to be served 2, but the lady was friends or what I knew her. I couldn't see. I couldn't see.
What the fuck is a fog cutter?
It was daylight when I went home.
What the hell is a fog cutter?
It's a delicious drink.
They serve them at it's not really a Chinese drink, but they started. Your dad and Chris would drink them at the old Peking Garden.
Yeah, right. It was right out here.
That awesome Chinese, the Chinese building downtown.
And you had 4 and you couldn't see.
Absolutely. They're beyond strong. They're like a steroided up version of a Long Island iced tea.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they have like 7 different liquors and like they taste like Hawaiian punch.
It is
and
very
you drink
Oh,
it. You drink it real fast and you don't even think of it. And then literally your legs and your whole body becomes like gelatin and you just like want to like lay like a blob. And then you got to realize that you got to drive home. That's why if I would have known if IC Cab was running, I would have called them. Because I almost got in the wrong side of the car. Like, I was annihilated.
So you had 4 fog cutters
4
and
fog
then
cutters in probably 2 hours.
And it was during the day and you walked outside.
I went after work. It was probably around this time of year. Probably, you know what? It almost was because it was football season and I was working at the college and I was really busy that week. And I don't know if we were getting ready for the first game, but it was like Thursday or Friday afternoon, and I was like, I've had enough. It was like 5 o'clock. I'm getting out of there. I go to the I think it was Silver Chopsticks, and I went there. And I'm like, I'm going to get some Chinese to go, take home, and I'm going to have a few drinks. Well, that turns into 4 fog cutters. It's like 7:30, and I'm like literally brain dead on National Road. It's amazing I made it home alive, and I didn't hurt anybody else. I'm not proud of that. That's not good. Yeah. But anyway.
Wow. What a day. That's pretty impressive, honestly.
And then I had like Tide shrimp or something. I probably vomited it up. Who knows? No, I don't think I vomited there, but I've been close a few times.
Well, it's like, hey, you eat all that food, drink all that, and you throw it up, and then you reset. It doesn't count. Go back again.
Yeah, I know. It's like, geez, what a waste of money that was.
Yeah. Did you feel after you vomit from drinking? Like, it takes me like 3 days to feel normal again. Like my body, that puts a lot of strain on my body.
Throwing up,
your epiglottis hurts, your throat's sore.
It fucks my eyes up. Like when I strain real hard, and it's like my eyes are like fucking.
Yeah, your eyes are popping out of your head.
Yeah, when you're dry heaving real hard, and it's like.
Yeah, can you imagine what your face looks like when you're doing
Oh gosh!
Like you feel like your eyes were popping out.
Put like a GoPro in the toilet.
Fuck, that's you know, and when you have a bad case of the flu, and then you throw up, and you feel better for that, and then you think, well, okay, this is the last time, and then you like what a half hour later, here comes another one. And
I haven't eaten anything in 2 days. What am I still? Throwing up?
Oh, that's a horrible feeling. God,
hopefully, hopefully you're not eating while you're listening to this episode.
Yeah, it's been off to a great start.
We've had a few gross episodes, I think.
Well,
I'd say so.
I think it's
nothing wrong with it.
No, not at all.
It'll challenge your mind, and
we've all been there. Even the listeners, they know what we're talking about.
That's right. Oh yeah, they all know. It'll chat. What is it? What's Ned Schneebly say? It'll challenge your brain and your mind.
Yeah.
and then he says, my dad was watching that the other day. Unfortunate Jub's not here to talk about
he has every line.
School. Yeah. I was watching it, and the girls were coming up with the band names, and She says the bumblebees, the koala bears, and then she says pig rectum.
yeah. Pig rectum.
Pig. Speaking of bands, I like your shirt today, Chris. Alice in Chains.
Yeah, I just.
What's one of their what was best songs?
Don't know. Couldn't name one. I'm sure I know them. I know them, but I don't.
Yeah, because the one the lead singer died in the '90s. Drugs, of course.
You didn't know Alice in Chains was a band?
I've never heard of it. I just thought that was like a vacation shirt or something.
Ooh, Alice, what's the good song about them? I can't think.
You know what was funny? And I know some of their songs. I don't know the names of them, but I thought, I bet nobody will ask me about that. So I didn't research. I didn't have time to look.
Nobody will ask me.
All right, let's. You actually, Cooley, you know this song. You'll know this song, "Man in the Box."
Yes. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, "Man in the Box."
Yeah.
Nutshell, Wood,
they're good.
Rooster.
Yeah, that
Bones.
one, Rooster. Rooster's another one.
Yeah, man.
Cooley doesn't seem too enthralled here.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure I know him if I hear him.
In the box.
Okay, yeah. I know.
And
Jerry
then
Cantrell.
we just were talking about it. I think the line says wasting in my pit or my shit or something. I forget what the line is. Yeah, it's something like that. But hey, it's a good band. Good band. Band T-shirts. A lot of. I feel like that's a big thing now. I see a lot of people, like younger people that go into like the weight room, always wear oversized gym T-shirts or gym T-shirts, band T-shirts. Like I always see Led Zeppelin. Trying to think who else I've seen. AC/DC.
Yes,
all these old bands that like probably they have no idea about.
Beavis and Butthead had those shirts on back in the day, Chris.
I still can't figure out who had it. Was Metallica and
AC/DC.
And who was the kid that had Winger?
Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart had Winger.
Beavis and Butthead, that just recently came back, right?
Yeah,
As a remake.
Good show.
Is it still good?
I haven't paid attention, but yeah, I mean, I would
those
watch
other
it
ones are so funny.
Yeah,
well
done.
So dumb.
Mike Judge, what a writer he was. Great guy.
Yeah. So who wore Metallica?
I think Butthead wore Metallica. Beavis wore AC/DC. I believe.
That sounds right. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. Gosh, what a
Two
show!
Two of the dumbest guys ever on TV.
Oh, not even close.
I remember that first came out. It was really like revolutionary.
It was
so entertaining.
And then when they would describe those music videos,
yes.
Oh, and they would sit in the front of the TV.
Yeah. They had a video game too. For
that
Sega.
Probably, I would say, paved the way for like shows like South Park and Family Guy and King of the Hill.
No
all
question.
of that. I mean, because nobody at that time was doing anything like that stupid.
No,
not for animated. You never saw anything animated that wasn't on Saturday morning on ABC and CBS. Yeah. They didn't even have, and then it just started. Nickelodeon was just coming out. Then they didn't really have cartoons. Disney Channel was new, but Beavis and Butthead, revolution.
And then remember there was a controversy about it with Beavis, and he kept singing Fire.
Yeah, Fire.
And then somebody,
every kid that burned their house down, it was Beavis' fault.
Somebody, I don't know if a kid set a house on fire. It had something to do with fire because he would always say fire. And if you've ever seen that in a video that they're watching, if there's any fire, then he gets all excited. Fire, fire.
Yeah.
And then supposedly that encouraged a kid
parental supervision. Where are they?
So Beavis made some kid burn a house.
Right. So I don't think then I think they stopped that part of.
Oh yeah, they took it off there.
Yeah, no more fire videos.
Well, that's just like
it was Beavis's fault.
That's just like kids going out and shooting people just from Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty is the reason people shoot people.
I mean, Chris can attest to this. His daughter played as much Grand Theft Auto as anybody. Emily, God love her, she's down there firing away at people. But you know what? She's not a fucking killer.
Man.
Like it happens in the home, and then the way these people, just basically the way you're raised, the way you're taught.
Hey, they're gonna hear this in the middle of this episode. We talked to
yes, perfect.
The girls from Addicted to Murder, right in the middle of
Cortney and Tricia.
Yes, we talked to them the other night. I think that was Thursday night. Me, Matt, and Jub. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That's wrong of me to say. Right? It should be Matt, Jub, and I. Yeah. Sorry for anybody that likes grammar.
That's good though that you recognize that.
Yeah, Matt Jub and I went down here to talk to who was it?
Courtney and Tricia.
Yep. Yes, from Addicted to Murder. They were really cool. So they
and really insightful. And they have years of experience in psychological makeup of kids and serial killers. They don't necessarily deal with serial killers directly, but in their professions, they're able to figure out what makes people tick. And you're going to hear that here in the middle excerpt of this of this show. So enjoy.
Are you putting the interview on?
Yeah, it's going to be.
I don't want to, but like what? I mean, what were some of the?
No, that's fine. We can use it as a tease as we're going right.
I mean, as far as I would say, like what's like the common theme here, or what's so some of the reasons why someone grows up and decides they want to
so a lot of it has to do with their background, obviously the home they're raised in,
right.
And psychological trauma, but it's not just that, it's a multitude of things, because we did ask them the question about kids who had normal childhoods and grew up to still be these killers. So every person's brain is different. Everyone's going to be affected different by whatever circumstances that come forth in their life. And it is the wide range of serial killers are males, a lot of abusive homes, bad parenting, whether it's single parent. Jarrett, you asked that about single parent homes. There's so many factors, but it's not always, and not all of them are the same, and that's what makes it so interesting. You may have a whole group of them. You may have like Cooley and I could both be serial killers. There's 10 boxes, and 7 of them we check the same, but the other 3 we're completely opposite on. So you don't know. Or it could be he could have 1 and I could have 9. It could be. There's so many different things that goes into that, and everyone's affected differently, and they shed so much light on all those different areas of thinking, whether it's just animal mutilation usually leads to it or whatever, but you'll hear plenty of it from Cortney and Tricia. They were outstanding.
They were super informative. I mean they did obviously they did an entire podcast about it, so they were very very knowledgeable about the situation.
And they also had the really cool thing about it is this is a one thing I haven't heard a lot of in the regular news is Cortney believes and she's a licensed therapist, so I mean, I trust her opinion. She believes that the Long Island serial killer is multiple suspects. She don't think that guy that has been arrested and suspected is the sole killer here. So a lot of the things don't add up, different type of kill patterns and stuff. So fascinating stuff, and something that you haven't really heard in the regular news. So
that's cool.
It is. They were really, really cool. Real quick, back to cartoons. Chris, you asked this the other day before we go to break, and we don't have to go too deep into it, but you said we were talking about our top 5s that we do on the radio. You mentioned top 5 cartoon characters.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite character?
I wish I knew you were going to ask me that.
I know. I'm putting you on the spot.
Do you guys Yogi Bear.
Do you guys have one that's?
Well, I knew who I didn't like at all was that Jerry.
Tom and Jerry,
yeah. Oh, Jerry. Jerry's a
mouse.
Tom was a dickhead cat. Jerry was a little bastard mouse.
Yeah, but he'd fuck with that. He'd fuck with Tom all the time.
I watched an old clip of that.
It is good.
It really is hilarious. I mean, some of the shit that Jerry would think about how to do, not
any words spoken in
not
those
one word.
Yeah.
And Tom lifts up the wall. He lifts up the entire wall, and then Jerry's there, and he just comes with an axe and just whacks Tom's tail with the axe, and then he does that yell that. Just some of that, how they thought of some of that dumb shit.
And 2 of the guys that I really liked, and I think maybe just because I had so much sympathy for him, was Wile E. Coyote. And Daffy Duck, he's the one who always got shot with the muzzle loader, right, or whatever, and his beak would spin
around.
I mean, those guys never got the revenge on
I
anybody.
agree with
What about Elmer
Fudd?
He had some rough times.
Yeah, well, but Wiley spent all that money on it from Acme to buy all these
dynamite, right?
Dynamite, and remember he had those pair of roller skates that had
like rockets on.
Yeah, so he could go speed up and catch it, but he could never get. The Roadrunner. I wasn't a big Roadrunner fan. I didn't like Pink Panther either.
I didn't. See, I never watched any of the Pink. You
didn't like Yogi Bear, did you?
Indifferent on him.
What about Dick Dastardly? Remember him from the All Stars? And then
was that the what was that called?
Yeah,
the All Stars.
But what was it? Not Hanna-Barbera, but
I just saw a thing on Twitter a couple
Who
weeks
were they
ago about that.
What show?
They were
It was the Laugh Olympics.
Laugh Olympics cartoon All Stars, but which wasn't Warner? I'm trying to think of they had a title. It was something, but man, I love the Laugh Olympics.
The Laugh Olympics. Taffy Dare, Blue Falcon, Yogi Bear, Jabberjaw, Mumbly. Dee Dee Skies. Are these even?
But there were 3 teams, though, right?
Yeah,
Cindy
Bear.
Teams, yeah.
Orphle Octopus. Dastardly Dalton.
Yeah.
Man, Dastardly Dalton. He looks real interesting. Mr. Creeply. Are these ringing a bell?
No, they are, yeah. No, that stuff.
So these are like Scooby-Doo is in it?
Yeah, so they would
Fred
take,
Flintstone,
they would take
Barney.
characters out of the other. It must have been Hanna-Barbera then. And they would put them into these. They would do like the Olympic Games. Like it was.
Who's Babu?
Babu.
Boo Boo Bear?
Boo Boo's from Yogi Bear. Chris, did you like
Hanna-Barbera?
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Do you like Johnny Quest, Chris?
I didn't watch that all that much, but I know which one you're talking about. Did you like Scooby-Doo?
It was pretty good, yeah.
I was a Scooby-Doo guy. I really liked.
I like Woody Woodpecker was my favorite. Though.
I like Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo was my guy.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo was a good one. There was one thing from Wile E. Coyote. I absolutely thought that. I don't know why I thought this was the coolest thing in Wile E. Coyote when he painted the road, and then on that like canyon he painted the road kept going, and he just would smash right into the wall. I don't know why I always thought that was so cool.
He had no chance.
Well, and that too, and then he would be on like a rock that extended out over the cliff, and what was he like? 10 pounds, and of course that rock would just break off, and he'd fall like 500 feet.
Yeah, and then
well, then usually he would end up below the rock. Then he hits first, and the rock.
Yeah, then he would go down, then boom.
Even though the rock's how much heavier than him.
Yeah, he would.
How about Captain Caveman? Did you guys ever see that show?
I don't know.
No.
Captain
Really?
Caveman,
Never?
no.
Chris, you remember that
No.
one? No, you don't remember Captain Caveman? What about Smurfs?
I never watched the Smurfs. I gotta look up
Smurfs were good. Captain Caveman
Now,
was incredible.
Matt, the 3 teams in the Laugh Olympics were the Scooby Doobies,
Yeah.
the Yogi Yahooies, and the Really Rottens.
There you go.
Those are the 3 teams.
And there was always like some bad guy involved.
It was like pro wrestling.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
a bad guy like the villain.
Yeah. Gargamel from Smurfs. I know Dan from Slobovia has mentioned him before.
Oh, yeah.
Gargamel the wizard. Yeah, he was quite a character.
Did Captain Caveman say Unga Bunga?
Yeah, and he would say, and he had his son too. He was well. He was in the Laugh Olympics a couple of times. He had to carry a club around with him.
Yeah, I saw he's got a club.
Yeah.
Some of the old, definitely obviously old cartoons for us are so much better than they are
the old
now.
ones are great. If you what's that channel called? You could watch Transformers. You can watch Masters of the Universe. GoBots. What's that called? Something Box.
I don't know.
It's on. There's a cable channel. Yeah, the like literally 1980s Transformer episodes that I remember watching.
Really?
Yeah. And then Smurfs was on there, and like I said, Masters of the Universe, He-Man. Have you guys ever seen?
He-Man. I've seen He-Man.
I was really old.
I'd say probably the oldest cartoon that probably I watched was probably Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, well, that predates all those. I mean, that was Chris. When would
Popeye? Yeah, I was gonna say
Popeye was. Those were really old cartoons.
Yes.
Tom and Jerry's been around since when, Chris? Almost.
It's probably like I don't know, 40s,
50s?
50s, probably 50s.
Wow, that's really that long.
Yeah,
I remember we'd watch Tom and Jerry before school every day. That was like my favorite thing.
That's a great show. How about?
I would still, if we were just sitting in here.
Oh yeah,
I'd watch
definitely.
I'd rather watch that than this baseball game.
Yeah,
Actually,
I know.
You know what? Pine Room Week 1 with your dad. We ought to have cartoon week.
We should. I know for my dad, he'd sit down and watch SpongeBob right now.
For the
early
modern day
seasons.
cartoons, SpongeBob is about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
For the newer
SpongeBob
ones.
we absolutely loved SpongeBob.
You know, and speaking of current, is The Simpsons still?
Yeah, I believe so.
What are they, about 30 seasons?
Yeah,
now?
at least.
I've never really watched.
It's a good show. It's a good show.
They're always predicting stuff. I see that
they do
every week. They predict
they get a lot right. They get a lot right over the
wild.
years. But I guess if you do enough episodes, you'll hit some
you're
stuff.
bound to hit something.
Yeah,
I was more of a South Park Family Guy guy. Never
Well,
really.
who is the dumber of the two guys, Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin?
Man.
Peter Griffin's dumber than
Peter, Peter.
Peter makes me laugh so hard.
Yeah, he is.
Homer Simpson was working at a nuclear power facility. He liked to drink, and he's a little wild.
Family Guy. They live in Quahog,
Rhode Island.
What's
Springfield?
Springfield. Yeah.
I don't know if that's supposed to be Illinois or Massachusetts.
Where is Quahog supposed to be?
Rhode Island.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're New Englanders. They had a few crossovers with some of the New England sports teams.
The first time, and Derek one time he played me a clip of when he was singing "What's the bird is the word."
Yeah. The bird is the word.
I didn't realize that was an actual song from the '60s.
Yeah, Peter Griffin.
There's things that I would actually cry. I would laugh so hard.
Oh, they got some funny episodes.
They're really funny.
And yeah, I mean. So Peter Griffin would be like feeding guys peas on TV, like through the TV screen.
Yeah.
Like, it's so dumb. Tom Selleck, I think he was feeding him Magnum PI. He was trying to feed him on it. It was so fucking stupid.
It is. They are amazing shows.
You got to be pretty damn creative to come up with that.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just glad that those shows have been able to withstand all the cancel culture because they offend a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of
South
people
Park.
have been.
South
Park's the greatest, but they go after everyone, which is great. Makes it great. And they've somehow been able to withstand it. I don't know how.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I'm glad they're still around.
Are they still making new episodes?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Good for them.
But,
good for them.
Yeah, I think we're going to take a break now. You're about to hear the girls from Addicted to Murder. We'll see you in a sec.
You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast, but you don't just have to listen to the podcast. We have some other stuff out there, too, like Bettor's Last Stand, our sports betting show covering all things sports and betting. Or Soup and Stuff, where Soup sits down with business owners, athletes, and other professionals for good conversation. Or, if you want to listen to us live, you can tune into The Watchdog, FM 98.1 or AM 1600. Or you can listen live online at thewatchdognetwork.com. You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast.
All right, Cortney and Tricia of the Addicted to Murder podcast. I started to listen to their podcast probably about, I don't know, a month and a half ago. Thought it was really insightful, incredibly intriguing, really well laid out and easy to follow. And if you're somebody that likes serial killers, a lot of people are these days, it's you learn a lot from it. And I love those kinds of podcasts. You guys gave a little bit of a different approach than a lot of your other ones, not just telling the story about what the people did, but telling why they did it and how they turned into the people that they are. And it's just absolutely fascinating. So let me start out by welcoming you and tell us a little bit about how you guys got started into this podcasting. And have you always been interested in the serial killer mind? And just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, well, I guess it's always been something that's fairly interesting to me. I've always been, into like true crime, and I love shows like Criminal Minds and kind of all those growing up. And then, of course, I have my degree in psychology and then my master's in counseling. And so just the way the mind works is always really interesting. Yes. And so for me, it was sort of a natural, when I hear about these things that people can do that are so far outside the realm of normal, my always, go-to is, well, what made them this way?
Right.
And is there something, because I work with kids primarily, is if they had gotten help when they were young, could this have been prevented in some way?
Right.
Yeah. We talked to Brenda Gantz. She's got a horrifying history podcast on different platforms, and similar to kind of what you just said there. One of her things was everybody kind of focused on the big on most of these murder cases and conspiracy stuff like that. They focus on the biggest thing that everybody knows, and that's with for instance Charles Manson. You all know, everybody knows about the killings that went on, but it's similar to you. Going and diving into the background of them, what happened in their childhood? Did they have what was their home life like? What influenced them? So is that more in the overarching thing of what you guys do is what draws you more to people is the behind the scenes stuff, or was it originally the big events and then you kind of got into the behind the scenes?
So for me, it was what was going on behind the scenes, because I was a childhood survivor of trauma, and I developed my own little personality disorder. And I look at where I could have diverged and gone off a wrong path had I had that inclination. I didn't, but a lot of these killers that we cover, some of the diagnoses we're reading about, they've already been given, but some of them we're speculating on, right? They maybe weren't diagnosed. Courtney's speculating on. I'm just gonna put that. She's that has. I'm no armchair expert, but for me, it was more like, why the hell are these people the way they are? Why do some people go that way and some people don't? And it's always been fascinating to me because, I cannot imagine doing what these people do to people.
Yes.
Yeah. They just don't care.
Right.
And that's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, and obviously I don't want to get too deep into your personal life, but do you see that, in the situations that you've been through, I don't know what you've gone through, and I'm sorry to hear that you went through some rough stuff, but, could you definitely see where these people could have, where things could have went right and could have went wrong? Like, do you see that in yourself, back in, in your history?
I mean, I think that we like to think that as advocates for kids, that if a lot of these kids had gotten intervention early on and stuck with it, that this wouldn't have happened. That's,
Right, yeah. There are definitely some of the killers we talk about that really just did have, psychopathic traits, but not all of them. And, some of them potentially, if they'd been recognized or if they're, someone other than their parents had been paying attention to what was happening, maybe things could have gone differently.
Yeah. So how did you guys decide to start doing a podcast about it?
Well, we worked together really up until about a month ago, actually. And during those kind of slow COVID months, we had a lot of downtime.
Yes.
Where we just were in the office and talking about our mutual interest in these things. And one day Tricia was just like, we should do a podcast about this.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, we recorded our first episode.
How long have you guys known each other?
5 years since we started working together.
And you mind me asking what you guys do for work together?
So I'm a child and family therapist.
I just left. I was at that clinic as the office coordinator and backup medical assistant, and now I work for a victim advocacy, child advocacy group as a child abuse medical assistant.
Wow, you both have, that's very good work that you're doing right now, so much appreciated, especially in today's world. Definitely need people like you looking out for the youth, and you often wonder, I often wonder what it was like, how much different things are now as far as just the awareness into mental health, just for adults and children. And I feel like a lot of these people that turned into these, I guess for lack of a better term, monsters of some sort, if they would have had resources like you ladies provide right now, perhaps their lives are different. I also found it an interesting, and maybe you can speak to this a little bit. I always found it interesting, like just for instance, like Ed Kemper or somebody like that who had siblings in the home with him, and they turned out relatively normal versus him. And I just, what do you ladies think about those kinds of things, about how kids growing up in the same type of household maybe have such a different outcome of their lives?
Did you listen to our Ed Kemper?
Yeah, I did. I was always interested in him a lot, and yes, when I saw you guys did the 4 parts on him, I thought it was really cool.
Because one of his siblings was kind of homicidal, wasn't
oh yeah, no, actually, yeah. Now that you mention that, yeah. I guess when I say, I guess I shouldn't have used the word normal. Yeah. So, yeah. But maybe not as terrorizing as him.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I think there's a number of factors kind of at play with that when you look at siblings. Just strictly brain development can be different. And the treatment that they get from their parents and things like that could be different. For example, with Ed Kemper, he was very much a target more than his siblings were. So he got the brunt of kind of that abuse. And so that affects you differently than kind of someone who's maybe watching a sibling receive it.
Right. So just going off that, do you think if there were ladies such as yourself doing the work you were doing back in the times of say, an Ed Kemper, is there a chance he turns out differently, or is his damage in the home so severe that it was going to end up this way regardless?
Well, I think for Ed Kemper specifically, if we're talking about him, he definitely could have been, I think, stopped just knowing kind of his history, because he was in mental health hospitals as a teenager. And I think had we had the knowledge that we have about the brain and psychology and therapy and things that we have today, I think the way he received treatment back then would have been really different and potentially, could have changed his trajectory.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to, just because if anybody's listening that doesn't know, how many killers, well, first off, let's kind of zoom out real quick. You guys obviously do a podcast about killers and homicide. So how many have you done up until right now?
So, I think we have 78 episodes, but a lot of them are broken into half-hour parts.
Right.
So I would say probably
45
40 killers. And a lot of them, we hadn't heard of, which, super interesting to find out about, because they were, how would we not hear of these, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird.
And there's hundreds more that we haven't even.
So how do you go? How do you go about picking the ones that you're gonna do? Eventually, maybe you'll get to all of them. Hopefully, they won't keep adding more. But I think that's probably inevitable. But how do you go ahead and pick your case studies?
I think it's a combination of us hearing about someone, either whether it's they're famous already, or we, watch a crime documentary, because that's also what we do in our spare time.
Right.
Learn about someone more me. Sometimes it's just I'm just gonna Google books about serial killers and see a title that catches my eye.
Right.
Find out about someone I've never heard of before.
And we've also had some listener input. So one of my favorite cases we did was Marc Dutroux, the monster of Belgium, and that was actually from Belgium that reached out to us and told us about them. I had never heard of this guy before, and he was awful.
Yes.
Give us a little capsule. Little capsule.
He kidnapped children and he held them and used them horribly before they would basically starve to death or be abused to death, and then he would bury them in his backyard.
Oh my goodness!
I guess I shouldn't ask for capsules, because it sounds so when you're given such concise answers, it sounds. I mean, obviously they're horrible regardless, and maybe more detail is worse. But it's just like a punch when you're hearing how brutal that is. In an overarching sense, you said yours is the Beast of Belgium, and what's Monster Belgium. What was another? I gotcha. What's another standout? Just overarching, just another standout for people if they're listening. Hot one to go to.
I think. Honestly, one of the ones that we just did, and she's not really a serial killer, but Diane Downs.
Oh yeah.
We covered recently, and she's a local Oregon gal.
She's from Arizona, but she killed here.
Yeah.
But she killed here.
Yes, I swear.
So you ladies are based in Oregon, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who was the most prominent one in that? Well, a little more north of you, I guess, with the Green River. But who's one of the ones that was in your area of the world?
My favorite case is the I-5 killer.
Oh yes.
Randy Woodfield.
Yeah.
Randy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he's my favorite case, but I think it was because he was actually picked to be on the Green Bay Packers and got kicked off because he couldn't keep it in his pants and he was showing everyone his wiener.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably a telltale sign there could be a problem. Yeah.
Of all of the ones that you've done, do you have a favorite that what you said 40 killers that you've covered? Has there been a favorite one that you've done?
Oh, that's so hard.
I know. Hard-hitting question.
It's almost kind of weird to ask a favorite.
Yeah, I guess that's a tough question.
It's like these people have done horrible stuff, but I guess
saying it.
Yeah,
interesting.
Yes.
It's one of the ones that's been really interesting to me was the old lady killer, Juana Barraza. She was a serial killer down in Mexico City, who posed as a social worker.
Wow.
And would go around and then basically killed and robbed old women.
Do you see as you study these cases? It seems like, and I mentioned this to Jub today on our radio show, about how it always seems like the serial killers, and I guess it's probably the easiest way to obtain a victim, is they seem to always go for very vulnerable people, whether it's children or sex workers or what have you. Have you ladies seen that in most of the cases? Is that very typical, or is it just the more popular ones that I know about are like that?
I think that's pretty typical. They tend to go for like low risk victims in terms of getting caught, low risk, or people that they feel like won't be missed. There aren't a lot of people that are going to go looking for them.
Right.
One that didn't do that was Richard Ramirez.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Breaking into people's homes willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. It's the vulnerable populations, which really sucks because those are the ones that are going to get the least amount of help from the law enforcement. At least that's what it seems. It
seemed like, Night Stalker, who you just mentioned there, Richard Ramirez, if our listeners aren't aware, he definitely was like against the grain as far as what the normal ways of seemingly they obtain victims for somebody that was going to kill. What did you guys see in his case as far as mental makeup that may have differed from some of the other ones?
Well, for one, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, one of the things that stands out is multiple head injuries when he was a child.
Right.
And
nuclear fallout.
Mm-hmm. He was exposed to nuclear fallout as a kid when his mom was pregnant with him and everything.
Right.
So there may have been some more like organic things kind of going on in his brain.
Yes, some developmental issues before he was probably even to the mature age, I guess.
He would have like seizures.
Yeah, he had seizures as a child as well. And then throw on lots and lots of drug use. And it was just sort of a perfect storm for, essentially like a delusional psychosis.
Right. He reminded me, when I watched the show about him, it kind of reminded me some of the things when they were talking about head trauma you mentioned there. It reminded me some of the things that are going on in the sports world with CTE and head injuries and things like that. Do you ladies see any parallels with that as far as just the way that the brain can be damaged and a person may become something that they originally weren't?
Definitely. We know that head injuries and concussions and things like that can affect your personality. They can affect your ability to control your impulses. They can affect, that emotionality, often seen as like being more easy to anger and like more prone towards violence.
Yes.
I just again an overarching question, which is kind of obscure, but do you think that every person living today, given the right circumstances, or for better use, wrong circumstances, has the potentiality to become like any of the people that you have talked about or read about?
No. I don't think so. I think it takes circumstances and it takes something else up here.
Well, that's good to hear.
A big confluence of factors,
right?
That all happen to create like the perfect storm.
Yeah. So multiple things occurring in a lot of times at an age, a vulnerable age, prior to their full development. That's kind of where these people end up. I guess that's what leads to it.
Yeah, it's like their brain is like, I'm no neurobiologist, but their brain is like wired a certain way, and if something triggers it, some event, like then it seems like it starts them down that path. And unfortunately, with these serial killers, they have horrible childhoods. They're horrible. We're not talking about like a smack here and there or their phone taking away. It's like unimaginable things are happening to them, and sometimes over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's a great point. Have you seen many cases that you ladies have studied or looked into of maybe killers that ended up turning out badly, but came from good homes, good childhoods? Are there any of those? Probably a few. Just for instance, like obviously everybody saw like the Jeffrey Dahmer thing on Netflix last year or whatever, was really a craze or whatever. But seemingly his home life was, I don't want to say great, but it was a little better than a lot of these kids that end up being murderers. Speak a little bit about that. Are there some kids that come from a good home and it just something else happened that we don't know about?
Randy Woodfield.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he's definitely one that stands out. Yeah, his childhood was pretty great,
right.
Honestly.
But there aren't many though.
Right.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure there's been a couple more that it wasn't so bad,
but that seems to be predominantly across the board. That seems to be the most common thing is a tough upbringing of some sorts.
Yeah, trauma.
Yeah.
For sure.
When it comes to your guys' you obviously talk that you watch a lot of shows, documentaries, what have you. When it comes to looking into these killers, what's your research process like when you pick somebody to focus on? Do you study? I don't know. Do you go into it almost like researching any topic, or is there any method to your progress? I'm trying to figure out some words here.
It's a no process.
Yes, yeah. What's your process?
Okay. Yeah, well, we usually try and find like a book first to kind of base most of it on. Usually like a investigative journalist kind of book. We love Anne Rule, for example. She's a great one. And then we kind of back that up with like online research or if there's like documentaries about them, and kind of like weave that all together.
Yeah.
We've kind of found that the books go into the childhood and the trauma much more than like say Wikipedia.
Yeah. Sure.
How long does it usually take you to kind of get all your research and get prepared for your next episode?
So we both try to read the book, but at the very least I have to read the book because I write up the questions for Cortney.
Gotcha.
So that can take whatever. I got to read the book, and then I typically write a script, and it's like 4 or 5 pages, and then that takes me a couple hours, and then she takes a couple hours to research her answers.
Right.
Some of them she does right off the top of her beautiful little research.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then when we come together, I don't read her answers because I like to learn along with the audience because again I'm not in her field, so I like to learn about stuff. So then some of our stuff's actually an organic conversation.
Oh yeah, that's good though. That you guys have a really natural flow, and it's really good to listen to. You can tell that you're on the same wavelength, but you also surprise each other from time to time too. So that's really cool.
Oh, good. We're glad to hear it because I'm always so paranoid about how we sound, and she just tells me to get over it. It's fine.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job. It's very insightful work that you're doing, and people, I hope that we'll continue to talk about you on our shows and get your name out here towards the East Coast a little bit as we talk with Cortney and Tricia from the Addicted to Murder podcast here on the Pine Room podcast. Matt, Jarrett, and Jub here with you. All right, ladies. So let me ask you this. Across the board, it seems like that men are maybe more prevalent as serial killers, but I know you mentioned a few ladies already. Where do you see as far as that goes, and is it just something that males are born with, or is it just the way that they respond to trauma, or just tell us a little bit about why that seems to be the case, or if you disagree with that, tell me why.
It definitely is predominantly men that we see. And I'd say, on the one hand, there is just those biological differences in terms of, the way that our brains are created and, levels of different hormones and things like that. And so, face it, boys have more testosterone. And so, they tend to be a little bit more aggressive, just kind of naturally. But also when we look at kind of that driving force behind a lot of serial killers, we come back to things like power and control. And often what we see is that, men who were maybe made to feel powerless when they were younger, especially by like a female parent or, guardian figure, we see a lot of that then turn into using power and control over the women that they end up murdering.
Well, hi. Obviously, I'm not on this show right now, but to listen to our interview with Tricia and Cortney from the Addicted to Murder podcast, to listen to the rest of that interview, you can check out our social media and keep up to date and see whenever that comes out. But for now, we're going to go back to the show, back into the studio with the guys with the podcast. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the show. What's up, guys? Jub here. I'm sure you've heard my voice a lot throughout this podcast. But if you made it this far, go check out some of our other stuff. Come on. We got a bunch of stuff. We got stuff all over the internet. We got videos. We got audio. We got store stuff. Go get something in the store. Go get some good stuff for the summer. It's all good stuff. I mean, you're not wasting your money. It's going to be sweet. Wear some cool swim trunks and flip-flops. The summer's not over yet. You got like 2 months left. So Go get some good stuff, slap it on, and then go out and rock it in front of all your friends or family, and they'll ask about what the Pine Room is, and you tell them. You say, I'm a loyal fan of the podcast. Here are my rockin' flip-flops and my fanny pack. So go check out the store, go check out our other stuff, and enjoy the rest of this podcast. You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast.
Hopefully you enjoyed that little interview with the girls from Addicted to Murder. They were really, really good. I enjoyed that little snippet. That was late for us. They were we were talking about.
But you guys were working West Coast time, huh?
Yeah, they were. It was 5 o'clock for them, 8 o'clock here. We were. It was getting close to my bedtime.
It's a big deal when I'm staying up past 8. No, not 8, but yeah. Normally I'm winding down, but no, it was well worth it. I enjoyed every second of that.
What time you get up in the morning? 5:30?
Nah, 5. Usually.
Is that an internal alarm?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah,
God damn.
I mean, if I stretch it to 6 on a day where I didn't have to go to work or work later, that'd be rare.
Well, I guess
too many things to do. I don't feel like there's enough hours in the day.
Is that every day for you? Even if you don't have anything to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm up by 6 every single day. Yeah. I mean, unless I'd be out really, really, really late occasionally, and then I'd maybe try to
even
7.
like when we were in Ocean City, you were up
Ocean City. Normally, when I would get there, I would stay up, but my hour span would always I try to keep my body clock the same, whereas my time. So I always at least try to get 7 hours of sleep. So if I'm able to, so if we go to bed at midnight, I would wake up at 7. Normally, I'd be asleep by 10 or so. So then I'm waking up even earlier. So yeah,
I usually always try to get 7.
Yeah, 7's where the marker that I need. I don't need 10. I don't need 9. I mean 7 to 8. And if I get that, I'm golden.
Yeah, I'm about a midnight to 7. Yeah, it's usually 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's not a bad shift. If you can sleep till 7, midnight to 7 is not bad.
I stay. I for whatever reason I can't go to bed like probably before 11 just because I'm up, either playing video games
stay up
or
late, but I
or watching
do
shit
it very often.
And I haven't gone to bed before 2 a.m. in this whole summer.
Really?
My sleep schedule is completely
2 a.m. Oh my god, I'd be hurting for a month.
Oh, when I like those early flights that we have, like we go like a 5:30 flight, and I get like 1 hour sleep. It messes me up for a while.
Tough.
I can't
really tough
because I got to get sleep. If I don't get sleep, I'll be a fucking zombie.
My brain doesn't work right.
Oh no, we can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'd much rather get in like late at night the day before, like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that or do like a 9 a.m. flight at least to get a little bit of sleep.
Yeah, that'd be nice too.
And then the airport's fucking packed.
You land at 5:30 in the morning, and you got to go get your bags, and you got to drive all the way there. Then your whole day is ruined.
Yeah, all you want to do is lay down.
Yep.
But
yeah, that's like that time when Matt left Florida without any sleep, and he had to come back for a West.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, that was just like I don't know how. I'm just glad he survived that.
Yeah, you're still kicking.
The worst part about it was having to go and watch that miserable football game and get absolutely massacred by Notre Dame up at West Liberty. Just absolutely slaughtered. Was that just
then? I mean, we came back that same day, right? Just a lot later because you had to leave early for the game.
Yeah, because my dad wasn't coming back. The boss says, I'm not coming back. Somebody's got to be there. The other people we had at the time weren't capable of, pulling the load.
Right.
So yeah.
That had to be so.
That's tough. I mean, you feel all right for a while. You're still riding high. You're still boozed up. You go into the airport. You're feeling good. But then once you're getting, and I'm driving up the hill, the back of 88 to get there from the airport. And I'm like, oh man, I'm starting to hit the wall. And then that riveting football game is West Liberty, can't pass their own 35-yard line. It's like, come on. I'm wasting my time with this shit. I was just down there watching a great basketball team play, and then I come home to this miserable shit.
Yeah.
Some things never change.
Yes.
I think you could go on probably for hours and hours about old Westwood football stories. I mean, I think you told us in Ocean City about that team that we went and played that hadn't won a game
Cheney.
for like 5. Yeah, they hadn't won a game in like how many years?
Cheney
was it?
Wolves.
They were like 36 or something.
Yeah, I remember looking these up this summer when we were at the beach. They had lost they haven't won a game in like 4 or 5 years, and they beat us. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did that school close?
I believe.
Yeah,
so. Or they dropped that.
I think they have like 2 sports. I think like women's basketball and something else.
The most incredible end to a game ever. I mean,
they said that. Didn't you say that the school like shut down? Everybody started to come to the
president. So, or I'll tell a really abridged version of this story. So it's West Liberty is, we're all right at the time, not great. It's pre-Amedro days, so we're not necessarily a powerhouse yet, but a solid team. We go over to Cheney. It's like week 2. And it's hot. It's September. It's really, really hot. Curry's with me. A couple other people that work for me at the time. We go. Anyway, Cheney's terrible. We should beat this team by 4 touchdowns. If there's a line on the game, we're laying 28.5 on the road easily. So, the game's West Liberty's pretty much in control, leading by a couple scores most of the game. They've never put them away. So halftime comes, and literally we're playing on a field that has no grass. It's like dry dirt, and it's hard as a fucking rock. Curry got stung by a bee like in the first quarter. He couldn't get it out of his yellow shirt, and it was stinging him. So it started our day off horribly. And then West Liberty's never played very well, and they couldn't put this team away. So anyway, it's getting to be like the fourth quarter. Cheney's keeping it close. Like they got it within like a score. And, then the stands, like there's nobody at this game at all because why would anybody come? And then as the fourth quarter, like they're within striking distance and you're like, people are starting to show up at this game, like word's traveling, like they have a chance to maybe win this game or something. So West Liberty's up by 7 late in the game. It's literally about 2 minutes to go, maybe about 2.5 minutes. Cheney's punting from almost their own end zone. Literally almost their own end zone. So at this point, they're down 7 points. So you're like, well, Cheney's going to have to probably go for this because they're probably not going to get the ball back. There's only a couple minutes left in the game. Well, somehow West Liberty doesn't do punt safe or doesn't just keep the defense on the field. Cheney fakes a punt. Now the wide receiver was a punter. They didn't have normal kicker punter guys. Like all their other skilled players did both. Like they had punter, the guy would a wide receiver would hold, a wide receiver punted, and a running back kicked. It was not like a conventional team. Obviously they had won once in 7 years. So anyway, the fake punt. And I may be wrong about the yardage, but it was 89 yards or something. So you know that they're already going to fake it. They got to get a first down. Well, the guy blows right past the first down marker. Half the West Liberty guys are running backwards, like the ball's in the air, getting ready to set up a fucking return, which would have been idiotic anyway. So this dude's just running down the sidelines. Did
he take off as soon as he got the ball?
Yeah, he went like this, like to fake a kick, and then rolled out to the right. Went right down in front of the Cheney sideline, ran all the way down.
They were probably going nuts,
and I think he cut back late. We had a couple guys running at him from an angle, guys that were back, and he cut inside and scored, okay? So we're like, all right, they're going to tie it up or whatever. So
that's got to be a record.
So it was ridiculous. It absolutely ridiculous.
They had to be going fucking nuts.
This story gets better, though. They're going nuts in the stands. They're running up and down the sides of the bleachers. They're going crazy. So it gets better. So they're going to kick the extra point, and then obviously, like I said, their kicking game is horrible. So we go through, our guy busts right through there, blocks the kick. We're going to be good. We're still going to win. And then there was probably around a little bit, maybe under 2 minutes at this point because some time ran.
And what was this? We were up.
We were up one at this point. They're kicking the point to tie the game.
Okay,
we block it. We're like, so it's great. Game, we're gonna win. Everybody just, of course, you're just celebrating like, oh yes, all right, we survived this misery. We're not going to get upset on the road in one of the most embarrassing things ever if we would lose. Well, guess what? One of our dumb guys decides to try to pick the ball up. And it reminds me of the Louisville guy at that game in the Pine Room this year. Tries to pick the ball up, to scoop it, and run it back for 2 points. Well, he proceeds to fumble the ball, and Cheney guy recovers it, and the guy runs from literally, this happened right in front of our sideline. On if you're going, it'd be left to right, so it'd be like the near side if you're on the opposite of the press box. He runs from one corner of the end zone to the other, dives in by the pylon for 2 points. And then Cheney goes up by 2. Their crowd is going insane. Their players on the sidelines are running onto the field. Their president, the lady president, this big African-American woman, she's dancing up in the fucking stands. She's standing on the fucking back of the bleachers. I mean, the band is cranking. By this, I didn't even know they had a band. The band shows up. It's like they just grabbed their instruments out of the room. Like, here we go.
They don't usually come to games, but we're going to win.
I mean, they are absolutely fired up. So then they kick off.
So this is a continuation of the blocked extra point.
Yeah, that was the.
So the guy was going to.
So they go up.
Yeah,
so they go up 1.
Yeah, so they're up 1. They kick it to West Liberty. West Liberty drives all the way down the field to get a really makeable field goal, and we had a really good kicker, and we missed. And the game was over. And then on the way home, Curry vomited in the car, and it was horrible. My dad wasn't at that game, and I remember him calling me after and asking me, well, because he just assumed we won. And like, no, he would just be glad you weren't there.
That's
like,
I remember you telling that story.
Horrible. And there was a bunch of other things that happened that day too that just made the program look like a travesty.
Oh, some of those, I mean, you could, like you said, you could go on forever and ever. But
we had the double onside kick against Tech. I remember that real quick when we're up 3 scores in the fourth quarter. I think we were up 20.
That one had a home game?
20.
I went home.
20 there's literally like 2 minutes to go in the game. Like, my dad's leaving the press box. Oh, yeah, good win, guys. I'm going up to go to the office. I'll see you at home. Or I think I was probably living at home then. I think I was, because I might have been in college then. Or maybe I did. Whatever. He's like, I'll see you later. I'm getting ready to head up to the office. We got this one wrapped up. 20. Well, Tech goes down, scores, quick touchdown, onside kick, they recover, go right down, score, onside kick again, go right back down and score, and then again they kicked extra point to go ahead by 1, and we drove down in like chip shot range and missed another field goal because our special teams have always been strong.
Well, they've always focused on that.
But impossible. Yeah. And you know who else might remember that? I'll tell you who might remember that, and probably would get details of it that I've totally forgot, is I think Coach Scott Cook.
Oh,
I think he was on the staff then. I think he might remember that.
Oh, so I bet he would.
If Nick's listening to this, he should ask.
Oh, we'll have to get him maybe at the Pine Room one day.
I'd like to get his account of that, because that was the very abridged version. He could probably tell you exact details of what went wrong there. But I remember talking to Nelson Kane about that game afterwards, and Nelson's like, I've been watching games on this hilltop for so many years, and he said, and all the time it's just one thing that would be more surprising than the next. Like, the last thing you would ever expect would happen somehow. It's just bizarre.
Some of those are amazing. I can't even think of some of the ones that I've seen when I was up there at school. Some of just the amazing shit that would happen. Yeah. But I mean, just again, could go on forever and ever about those stories. That one, Cheney. I remember you telling me that. I was laughing my ass off about.
I'd love to be able to find a tape of that game, because I'd like to watch it.
It's probably in there, like. No,
I bet that
archives
was destroyed.
That was destroyed.
No, you think ago. Like Cheney's? No, I bet.
Cheney probably have it in a safe deposit.
They played it. They would play it like for incoming students.
I used to know their SID, but I don't think he's even there anymore. A guy named Len Margolis.
I would love to know if anyone's college or pros ever scored on a fake punt from 89 yards. That's a long one. Look at that home run. Jeez.
Yeah.
Let's look up Cheney University.
Remember I read through their records?
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible how bad they were.
Cheney University in Cheney, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Cheney Wolves.
Is that real east?
Yeah, way to the east, almost in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I don't believe. I don't know. I think it's still open. I think it looks like it. They still got fall moving. We got fall moving.
Well,
welcome.
If you got a son or daughter looking for college, I highly recommend Cheney.
Yeah,
it'll be a great campus visit.
We have, if we're interested, fall moving, new students and transfer student move-ins Monday, August 14th. How about this? The way they do it: students with the last name that start A to K move in at 9 a.m. and then L to Z at 12 p.m.
Okay,
they can't have that many students. I wouldn't think.
No. Yeah.
Well,
go
Wolves.
They're just making sure it's an efficient move-in day.
Exactly. Exactly. I used to. I liked move-in day. I thought it was pretty fun. Working there, not when I would actually move in. That was a disaster.
It's always hot.
Yeah, always hot.
No,
always hot, and then
another home run.
Just like that, it's 3-3.
we're watching the Phillies and the Nationals.
Trevor Williams.
Yeah, Pirates legend. Let's hop on some our segment that we've been doing lately. Hypotheticals. Okay. While Jub's not here, I got a good one here for you guys. Here we go. What would you do if you were alone at your home late at night and heard footsteps in your apartment or house? Would you panic or stay calm? And nobody's supposed to be there. It's just supposed to be you for you're the only one that lives there.
Footsteps?
You hear footsteps. Do you panic or stay calm?
I think at first I stay calm because normally I think I trick myself into hearing things.
And you're certain they're footsteps.
Yes, 1,000%. Like big boots. You can hear big ass boots.
Oh, jeez. I'm grabbing a weapon. I gotta get
Well,
something.
my first thought is, why don't I have a fucking gun?
Yeah.
Why have I
I'm
waited
going to the gun cabinet.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I'd get scared. I'd be like, oh, shit, what's happening here?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be calm.
No.
I don't know, somewhere in between. What would you say, calm or
yeah,
what?
would you panic?
Panic.
Would you
somewhere
panic or stay calm?
Between calm and panic at first, because I'd like to think if I was in a deadly situation, maybe I could have enough, cerebral wherewithal to be able to survive it and think it through.
If you totally
but then
panic,
again, who knows?
Then you might, like you said,
you come unraveled. Like
yes.
I always laugh in the movies when the guy's got the gun's never loaded though. It's always they get it out and then he drops the bullets and then he puts it in his face in the wrong way and then the zombie's coming down the steps and then he just gets it in time.
He shoots and the safety's on.
Right.
Hey, and another thing about that, and we've seen this a million times. When the good guy's fighting a bad guy and there's a gun involved, and then invariably he gets knocked to the floor, and then they're still wrestling, and then someone's this far from the gun, they can't reach,
and he's reaching, and then he gets one. He gets this power of God,
suddenly his arms
strikes down,
now.
and he can grab it,
and boom,
and then he shoots a perfect shot every time.
He
either center chest or right between the eyes.
Well, and that we've talked about that before, just sitting around in those like the movie Taken. Like
you hate Liam Neeson.
No, I don't hate it. I thought it was a pretty good movie for an action. But the good guy, they always escaped that.
Oh, always.
I mean, he probably avoided 500,000 bullets.
Oh, that nobody ever could hit him. I don't think he ever got shot once.
I mean, he could do a cartwheel and a backflip and in midair shoot somebody dead.
Yeah, that.
They should make a movie where that guy dies. Complete opposite.
Well, they did that. It's called Game of Thrones, I guess. Oh, yeah. But I mean, you're right. Like a modern day one, like not a medieval setting, but that's one of the only shows where like the main characters just get killed at any time. But speaking of that, the Equalizer 3 coming out.
I just saw a commercial. Yeah. My dad and I were watching TV. I just saw a commercial. And the first thing we both said, there's no way that's going to be any good.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that Equalizer 2 was so-so. I thought it was decent. I mean, better than some sequels. Anything with Denzel Washington is a pretty credible movie.
Yeah, if Denzel's in it.
The first one, though, was great.
Oh, yeah.
And then they had to make a TV show out of it, which is stupid. And by the way, Chris, I got to mention this. What the fuck are they? No, this isn't against you. I think you'll be on my side here. The River Wild. I think they remade the fucking movie.
I saw it the other day.
That's outrageous.
How could they do that?
That's funny. I was going through movies and I saw that. I'm like, okay, that's a good movie. I always, if it's ever on, I'll always watch it. Then I looked and that's like, it was just comes out.
Yeah, I just saw it.
I didn't even recognize the actors. It was terrible. And I saw the trailer for it.
You didn't watch it, did you?
Fuck no. I'll never watch that shit. Well, you got Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon,
I would say
John C. Reilly. You got some good ones, and then you got these no names trying to
that was a
reenact.
Badass movie.
That movie was wonderful. Why? I mean,
are they that lazy that they can't come up with it? Like they just I got an idea. Let's redo the River Wild, which isn't even that old of a movie.
No, it's not like that was a really unique movie. Like
it was.
Like it wasn't like a regular action shooter movie. Like that was
the river scenes. They're shooting that on a really raging rapids river,
and that scenery was so awesome. Wherever that was.
Yeah.
Remember, and he killed Benjamin Bratt. He was like the forest ranger.
The ranger. The Ranger, and who is it? The end, Kevin Bacon gets shot, right? That's what
Wade.
it was. He got
Wade,
and he puts his hands up. Then he he's like, says, what does he say? They're like, you know me or something. I forget what the hell he says.
Good, really good cast, and Chris liked the boy Rourke.
Yeah.
Terrible name for a kid.
Yeah,
I
didn't like.
He never got made fun of. I'm sure.
I forget what was John C. Reilly's character name, but it seemed like Wade just kind of lured him into that.
Yeah. No,
like
John C. Reilly didn't seem like a bad guy. Yeah. Wade was a psychopath. You could tell that right out of the chute. Yeah, right. But Bacon plays a great psycho. He was wonderful.
All right, I got another. Right. I got another good one here for you. I don't think we've done this one. If you were offered billions with a B, billions of dollars to be locked in a room for 50 minutes with a huge possibility that when you leave the room, you will either be 50 days in the future or 50 years in the future, would you do it?
Oh, fuck yeah. Not even close.
Wait, so I could walk out and be...
So you could walk out in
90?
You could walk out, it would either be 50 days or 50 years.
Oh, I'm rolling the dice. 50% chance. Shit. I'm in. It's like going to the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, man. I don't think I could do it.
I don't think I could either.
50 years? Yeah, can you imagine 50 years, you come out 75 years old?
I couldn't do it.
Your whole life is ruined.
Everybody you know's dead.
I'd be 109.
Well, maybe not.
I couldn't do it.
I don't want to do it.
I know me. I wouldn't do it.
Oh, then I'm the only one. Then
Matt's rolling the dice.
Freak. I'll take the shot. And then
but if you have billions and it's 50 days, yeah,
you're living.
You're living.
Wait a minute. You said 50 days?
Your time lapse is either 50 days or 50 years.
Okay. All right.
But you don't know, and it's worth a bill.
Oh, hey,
I think I would.
You roll the dice?
Yeah, I'd roll the dice.
All right.
I'd probably.
You'd be 109.
Yeah, I'd be 109.
Well, yeah, shit.
But so I don't care.
Hey, here's the thing: if you're able to live at 109, that's all right.
Yeah, shit.
I don't know what you would do.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess you just.
I could figure something out. So that kind of money.
If you couldn't survive, If you couldn't survive it, then you just walk out. You just walk out and die.
Yeah, or I walk out and I go right to the Liza's place or something. I mean,
what, or they just you wake up in a morgue.
Yeah, right. I died. I'm going to the wellness
buried with $1 billion.
They said he gambled.
Yeah,
he didn't fucking make it.
I guess I had to get a beneficiary.
No,
gets that money.
How about this one? This is we'll do a few more, then we'll wrap her up for the day. Would your partner still want to be with you if they could read your mind? I guess this doesn't really apply to any of us.
No.
Now that I think about it, but let's say would you stay with your partner if they could read your mind?
I don't think anybody would want to be with me if they could read my friends, family, anybody.
Yeah, I'm a pretty demented person. They probably think I'm fucking something. Actually, Cortney and Tricia would probably evaluate me as a potential killer.
What, though? I think we're all fucked.
Yeah,
but even some of the heinous things we say.
The way I look at it is,
we don't do it. I mean, we're
I don't go out and hurt anybody. No. I don't attack people.
And I think a lot of things we say or think if we express with our friends is just for a fucking laugh or just to have a good time. I mean, it's stupid, right? Yeah.
I think there's a good thing there between understanding that even though you're thinking this in your head, it doesn't make you guilty of anything, and it's not reality to you.
And it doesn't mean you believe it either.
Right, and you haven't actually gone through with any of the things that you think of.
Right.
It's not like Minority Report where I think about killing somebody, then I'm immediately arrested before I even did it.
Well, right, and that's why even though he's fucked up, our friend on the Eastern Panhandle, the things that come out of his mind, but he's well aware not to act on those things. It's just he just does it for a huge laugh, and it usually works.
Yeah, Estelle Getty.
Yes.
What about you, Jarrett?
80 and up.
But no. I think some really ridiculous things. Not even that they're that bad. Just like I think I'd probably they might think that I might. Kind of
what about the other side of that, though? I don't know if I'd want to know what they think either.
No, I
a
wouldn't.
lot of sick.
I wouldn't want to read minds. I don't think. Maybe I would.
Maybe there's a girl that's as fucked up as we are.
There's probably some out there. I'm sure. Actually, I probably know there.
Can I tell you something real quick? Are you allowed to say this word on here?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you talk about being fucked up. So there.
I hope nobody's down the hall.
Yeah. Well, right down from on the opposite side of the street from what's Steakham's place, Floyd Schuler's Hole and Run. Okay, on the corner there where there's that coffee place where there's a doctor's office and it's a gynecology office.
Oh.
So I'm sitting there at the light.
Oh, jeez.
And a lady comes out, and I didn't even know what it was till I looked. I was stopped at the red light, and I looked, and it said whatever the doctor's name, gynecology. And some woman walked out. And because I'm such a smart, brilliant man, I just thought to myself, and she was just walking to her car after she walked out of the building, and I said, what would she do if I just rolled down my window and said, hey, lady, how's your cunt? And I just thought, what is wrong? Why would I even think that?
What made you that pop into your head to say that?
Because it's just stupid. Now, obviously, I could never do that. I mean, you have to offer me a million. But you know what? I made myself laugh.
Yes. Well, and it was in no malicious way.
No.
It just was.
But I mean, she wasn't going to get her ears checked.
No, it was just bodily.
I wish you would have did it, Chris.
Oh my God!
She just gave me a thumbs up.
We read about him in the paper. Somebody would have got on cell video.
You'd be crucified.
Yeah,
I'd be unemployed.
He'd be like those guys that were fighting over a boat parking spot.
Oh, Jesus.
I saw that.
He getting wailed with a chair. That was extreme.
Well, that was, she was already up and she was sitting there.
That was nuts. Was that Alabama or something?
Yeah, Montgomery.
Montgomery.
What a crazy...
I got a really, this will be our last one here. This is a really good one because I know my answer 100%. Would you go 3 months without shaving, brushing your teeth, or using deodorant for $55,000?
No.
Oh, man, no, I don't know.
Zero.
How long?
No shot.
Not for
3 months.
No, 55 million maybe.
Do I still have to go to work?
Oh, yeah, you live your normal life. Just...
Ew.
Would my
Nobody's
teeth...
going to be one
I got to lose some teeth from that, wouldn't I? They dealt with a lot of
maybe. I mean, just because you're young, I don't know.
Maybe let's bump it up. So let's bump it up to $550,000.
I don't know if the money's. I mean,
there's zero chance I can do it.
You can't.
You can't shave. You can't brush your teeth, and you can't use deodorant.
Okay, but can I shower?
I guess you could shower, yeah.
All right, well, then the deodorant one, I could get by without that maybe for a little while, at least per day.
Well, see,
at least it's not carrying over. The teeth thing would be a serious problem.
That's what's throwing me off, man.
The not shaving, I hate shaving. I fucking hate it. It's the worst thing ever, and I feel sorry for women who have to shave every day.
Yeah, that does suck.
It is awful. There's not many things worse on this planet than shaving your face. I don't know what it's like, Chris. You can attest to the head. But, I mean, shaving your face fucking sucks.
It does.
It's a pain in the ass. I finally found good razors, though. But, man, they're hard to find, and they're so fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm. Well,
that's an absolute no from me. Zero chance.
The teeth would be a serious.
For sure.
I'd have to
I couldn't live
I'd have to gargle
teeth.
peroxide like 11 times a day to be able to. I mean, that would be tough.
I guess you could use mouthwash.
Chris, when you wash your head, do you use shampoo or body wash?
Just use your body wash.
I just want to be prepared.
Yeah. Well, get a good razor, a good blade. Because one time when I first did that, I think I got one of those shitty ass fucking plastic big ones.
Like,
I had like about 8 or 9 just like little like slice marks on my head. I'm like, God, that's like one of those you get what you pay for.
You use Gillette now, Chris? What do you?
No, I've been using Dollar Shave.
Oh, the Dollar Shave.
Oh yeah, that's super nice. Do they
just auto ship?
Yeah, that's nice.
I tell you, those Gillette ones with the burn razor guard. Oh, they changed my life. So
really?
I would get, I'm like, my skin's sensitive.
Is it an electric one?
No, it's a blade. But it has this like trough in it, and it doesn't. You don't get that shave burn ever. That was the worst thing. Even if you couldn't see it, like my skin would sting so bad after shaving. They're great. Gillette Skin Guard. I highly recommend.
I know. Cools me and you, the Philips Norelco.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love that thing.
Razor.
I absolutely love that thing. You get the guards, and then you can go close shave.
Can you
if
go?
want.
Can you? Is it a blade or is it a motorized?
It's a blade, and it's like it's like a. I don't even know how to describe it.
It's like a double-sided one.
Flat thing on it. You can get close. It's really, really, really nice. I love it.
I can't use electric ones.
Like the rotary ones. Oh God, no!
Those take me 2 years. I mean, I can grow in like real thick in certain parts.
Is that the one that's got like the 3 heads on it? You talking about the rotary?
The rotary. Yeah, I could.
When those blades start to dull, they like pull your hair out.
No.
It's terrible. But it'd be nice not to shave for how many days was that?
That was 3 months. 3 months to do it.
3 months.
Yeah,
I'd be like Bin Laden. I'd fucking have a dude down to my fucking waist.
James Harden.
Yeah, God. Like
well, cool. You won't have to do your head every day if you don't want. I mean, I might.
Yeah, I guess I could just grow my hair back, huh?
2 or 3 days. I mean, I don't. It's a pain in the ass sometimes, but
at least the wind won't fuck me up anymore.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about messing your hair up when you're wearing a toboggan.
Right, and if your hair's all fucked up, you don't have to worry about, well, I better get a ball cap if you don't want to wear it.
Then I got to put sunscreen on haircuts.
Yeah. Well, and that's burn on the head. It's not fun.
I know. So. I had my scalp burnt in Florida this past trip, and man, that shit hurt bad.
Oh, the burn on the scalp is one of the worst. I had it on right on the part of my hair. It was terrible.
I brushed my head that morning, and I almost cried. I was like, that's so bad.
Yeah, it doesn't feel well.
Hey, well, there's one thing we know. Don't challenge the sun.
Yeah.
No, even though it takes 8 seconds to get here, it's packing a hell of a wall.
We were talking about that today. Yeah. When it gets here, he's packing a punch.
There's one person that doesn't challenge the sun, it's Jub.
Jub
will go on vacation and come back more pale than when he showed up on vacation.
Jub does not. He knows not to fight the sun.
What's he do?
Wear a shirt, lathers the sunscreen.
Oh, okay. I mean, he'll go out in it.
Yeah, he'll go out in it.
He doesn't do anything weird.
He's not there to make himself look darker.
No, not one bit. He'll get that.
It does look like Jub right now. His skin tone looks like it's the middle of winter.
Oh yeah. He'll love to hear that. He'll love to hear that.
Even a few guys that are out and about, like you'll get a little bit of color during this time of year. Right?
No, he doesn't change all year.
No, he's the same tone, and I don't. And one thing I know, he does not give a shit. Nope. He doesn't care.
That's good for him. He'll probably live longer than the rest of us.
Yes, he'll have good skin, and we'll all look like leather.
Yeah,
like Frank.
Yes, like Frank the fisherman that we've told. I forget what episode that was. They
were talking about Frank the Tank.
Oh, Frank the Tank. I got a fucking clown.
Yeah, he is a clown.
Yeah, but
his Mets are looking good.
Yeah. Actually, I think our Buccos are looking better than the Mets.
We're getting identical records.
Yeah, we'll about to head home here, and they
that's 7:05.
First pitch in about 2 hours. I think it's 7:05. Okay. I believe, but I think that'll do it for us here in the Pine Room for episode 70. Isn't that amazing? That's 30 more till 100. 30 more. That'd probably be around like February, I think. Maybe
half a year.
What's the anniversary of us winning the?
Oh, that was.
There's the date. September the
28th. September 28th.
We're coming up on that.
Yeah, so we're in the 11th.
Jeez, that seems like it's been 6 years ago.
I know.
Yeah, it does.
That was awesome.
That does not seem like it was just
a couple of days ago. It was a year ago. Your first radio show.
Yeah, that's right.
We've done in the 90s of those
things. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's your first radio show's almost
popped up in my
and it's right around high school football.
Yeah, it was the first hour show.
Going by quick.
First hour show is that I can't believe we used to do just an hour and try to cram everything in.
I don't know how we did it.
Now you got 7 hours.
Yep.
When you guys, I don't know if it was on the show or radio or whatever, and you guys were just having a conversation, and I don't know if somebody mentioned Scaffidi's, and I just thought about us taking all that shit up there.
We knocked that fucking door off the door off the hinges.
We were all nervous, and that guy said, "Don't worry, it happens all the time."
Yeah, it happens.
Oh,
the
door. But with that sound problem.
Oh man! I remember me and Jub.
Oh, we tried.
Me and Jub ran. We were going to Walmart to try to get. We were going to go buy a speaker. Yeah, we were buying a speaker, and so you came up with the miracle fix, and
thank God.
It actually ended up going really smooth, and. I don't know if we'll ever be doing that again.
Rough interviews with some of those kids. They're brutal.
Yeah, we've had some rough ones, but hey, we're here with episode 70.
We've improved our quality of guests.
Yes.
We got our football show starting next Friday. So,
hey, Jarrett, real quick for the Pine Room, did Jump out to get a new speaker? Or do you guys?
We got a new boombox. Okay, we got a new one because the old school boombox broke. I won't charge.
Because you know what I like about, and this really, because I mean Matt and all the rest of the guys at Bet, although he doesn't love it.
Don't include me in that.
I won't include.
Don't include me in there with Nick and Coach.
No, okay.
Jeez, I could sit up there and just socialize.
Well, what I
like,
right? That's what I like. So we get up there and I don't know, watch football for 2 hours. And Jub gets the iPad out and he's got all his playlists.
Yep.
Chris, what do you want to hear? And then we just listen to music, and then usually then the fist fighting comes on.
Yes.
And I couldn't give a fuck about football. And that's what I love it.
That
so
has
I'm glad
changed.
You got a new boom box.
Dark. It gets dark early.
New boom box is Really, really, really nice. Loud as fuck.
Hey, a question. Pauline was still alive during football season, right? So how your new neighbors going to be, you know?
I think they'll be okay with it. I think they'll be fine. I don't know if we'll... They're young, so...
Have they seen your dad in action yet, in full-scale action?
They haven't seen... They haven't seen anything... Because she moved in right after... I think they moved in maybe in the spring, so they haven't seen any of the...
When did Pauline pass?
Yeah.
April? No, it was after it.
That's a good question. I think it was cold. I know it was cold. It might have been... I think it was maybe like January, February. I don't think I wasn't in school, so... Yeah, so the new neighbors are going to have to get used to the Pine Room. Won't be long now.
That, or they'll be
exciting.
Or the Clearview police will be up there.
Yeah, no, they'll come and sit with us.
Yeah, hopefully so.
Yep, that'll do it for us here. Football's almost upon us. Buccos are winding down. Baseball, well, we've still got a little while till baseball winds down. But high school football next week. We start our new radio segment on Friday of next week. We're going to be out at Gumby's on site.
Yeah, 12 to 3 every Friday during football.
Which one
12 to 3. I think we'll be at... we don't know yet.
We're waiting to get to specifics.
Yeah, waiting to get to specifics. Trying to think what else. We got maybe going down to Dunbar this Friday for a beer launch. Basil's on next Thursday at 6 o'clock. We're having a beer launch there. Then we got Rough and Rowdy on that Friday. Mountaineer Brewfest on the Saturday. And then that should probably be it till probably the golf scramble, which will be probably the next couple following weeks, and then we're into football and we're into Pine Room season, which is exciting.
When's Basil's again?
Basil's is on
next
Basil's will be next Thursday.
From today, when you're listening.
When you sent the picture of that menu, they looked like they had some good stuff.
Did
you go there?
Yes, we went up and it was. I got a good hot dog. It was really, really good. Got some pierogies. So that'll be fun. People were really, really nice. The place is super cool.
I've only heard good things about it.
So it should
I'm
be
looking forward to going up.
Should be another good night of Pine Room Lager. So if you haven't had one yet, go get one.
My IC cab ride.
Yes.
Right,
it'll be a good time. Thanks for listening. Keep following along. It's going to be cranking and cranking. And one more thing before we go. We just announced one of our new shows, and actually we can announce 2 of them.
Yeah.
We just announced.
I don't know when we're going to find time to do these.
Yeah, I know.
Things.
I know. We got so much going on. New show we just announced on social media. Game Goblins is going to be a new board game series that Jub came up with. That we're going to be playing some board games. I'm not really sure what we're going to play yet. And then the one. Is there
going to be like extreme challenges involved in this?
I don't know what we're going. I'm not sure yet. Jub's got to iron out the.
You got to think of something that's going to make people watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe like a. You had to take a shot, or
like the
Hennessy.
fantasy football ending things.
Yes, something like that. We'll get a good repercussions for losing.
What games are you playing?
I don't not sure yet. Jub's trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
What's that game called? Risk? Is there a game called Risk?
Yeah, Risk.
World Domination.
Yeah.
You should play that.
Yep.
Catan, super likes that game. Monopoly, all those games. And then
Monopoly.
Yeah, Monopoly. We'll be here all goddamn day.
The Sunday at the club. Were you still there? When McKittrick's wife, she was playing on her phone. It was called Monopoly.
He said
she said she's addicted to it, and I said I'm going to try that. And he said you better not do it.
Yeah,
I never.
Games are addicting, and then our new conspiracies theory. Supernatural alien show.
You name the conspiracy, you name the genre. We're going to go inside of it. We're going to figure it out. We're going to.
I love that.
We're
going to try to get some great guests on and talk about some very extreme and weird views.
Yeah, and we've come up with the name. Jub came up with a really cool name, and I've seen a little bit of the logo. We haven't officially announced it yet on social media, but the briefing room.
Yeah. It's going to be a good
one. Should be a cool one. I'm excited for that one. And
stimulate your mind here in the Pine Room studio.
Yeah, and then I think me and Jub got another one maybe cooking here soon. So, a lot going on. It's been a good week so far. Going to finish it up down maybe at Dunbar and get cranked for next week. So
get well soon, Jub.
Yes, yeah, get well soon, Jub.
Get well soon, Jubber.
Yes, you'll be listening to this while you edit. But that'll do us for here in the Pine Room. Peace.